In a few years, I've seen how AI slowly started to creep in the YouTube platform. And although YouTube is not the only platform being infested with it, far from it, it is the platform where I notice this the most. And that is because despite all of its problems, I still love it. I spend a lot of time here, and I've always watched videos on YouTube, ranging from goofy meme videos to documentaries, to genuinely educational information that should honestly be paid for how much you learn from it. So of course, I am attached to it. Not for all of the anti-consumer decisions made by the company, or its ability to soothe my dopamine-starved brain, but for the ones who create the content in this very platform. Creative individuals who share together a space to create and let their thoughts be heard. Some of these thoughts are funny, some are controversial, and others are honestly quite stupid. But thoughts are thoughts regardless. Ideas from human beings, from flesh and blood, with a mind that has experienced life in its unique way and decided to share something to humanity, be it good or bad. So of course, with all of this exposure, I would inevitably notice that something doesn't quite seem right. YouTube right now, and the whole internet for that matter, isn't the one I used to know, because we have a disease manifesting within its massive and intricate code. A disease that seems to evolve more and more with seemingly no breaks. And that disease is AI. It started really innocently, with silly AI videos that were very incoherent. Distorted figures with smooth skins, disproportional body parts with extra limbs, unusual phrasing, and what we could only describe as nightmare fuel. Those were hellish creations for sure, but did provide us some entertainment. However, as I'm sure many of us already know, AI has escalated to unimaginable proportions. What used to be obvious signs of AI content is slowly starting to blur and become less obvious. We first relied on the distorted visuals. AI then figured a way to make those less distorted. We then relied on hands and feet with multiple fingers, and AI figured that out too. Then we had to rely on that distinct AI filter, and to our surprise, AI is starting to figure that out too. Everyone at this point knows about the comparison between Will Smith's video eating spaghetti made by AI from only a few years ago to the current version, which is shockingly convincing. It only goes to show how fast it is evolving. All of that, however, is taking the visuals into consideration. The less obvious sign of AI was, and still is, the writing, which is fooling a lot of people with how intricate ChatGPT and other AIs seem to write. And we see it everywhere on YouTube right now, on thumbnails, on video titles, in the scripts of video essays with that obnoxious "it's not just about this, it's about that." 3-word formations and incoherent filler that sounds just fancy enough to fool most of us. If you're still not aware of these signs, I recommend this video from Evan Edinger, as it really opened my eyes to all of these AI writing patterns. And yes, Evan, you did ruin it for me. Because after I discovered what those patterns are, I see them everywhere. And I have to say that I absolutely hate all of it. I hate that because AI is everywhere, I am in constant paranoia with all that I watch. Whenever I hear a 3-word pattern or the famous "it's not just about this, it's about that," I instantly suspect that what I'm watching might not be human-made. Of course, seeing these patterns doesn't instantly make the video made by AI, as it could just be the way the creator writes. But that's exactly my point. How the hell am I supposed to know? Why can't I trust the content I watch anymore? Why can't I simply trust that the person making such content is genuinely passionate about what they make and that they care about what they say? Why is AI, a tool that has increasingly made people dependent on it, actively hurts the ones making genuine content? It doesn't matter if you wrote all of it by yourself. No one can know if it was truly you or not anymore. And that really sucks. I hate that now we have to self-filter what is made by a human and what is made by a machine, to distinguish what is truly exceptional writing by a passionate and experienced writer or simply AI text slightly altered to make it less obvious. I hate that I could watch several minutes of a video only to halfway notice that the script sounds a little bit too robotic, emotionless, and devoid of meaning. Realizing that the script could have been made entirely by AI, leaving me with the feeling that I have been fooled into believing I was connecting myself with a human being. And to be honest, maybe I was. Maybe I was connecting myself to part of a human being who chose to use an AI tool to make their opinion sound more academical and trustworthy. Maybe they just wanted to make the process easier and less time-consuming. Or maybe they didn't feel that they would be capable enough to write something that people would like, because AI would outperform them in every way. I cannot blame this person, however, as I have fallen into that belief too. The belief that maybe the way I think and write my ideas might not be ideal. That maybe people would see through my mistakes and judge me for not being smart enough. Overanalyzing my every action in pursuit of perfection and performance, only to ensure that my opinion is heard. All of that process, however, is exhausting and strips me from what is most true to myself. It takes away my individuality, my true opinions and ways to express them. Because even in the way I choose to write my mind out, and in the words I choose to use, there is a trace of a whole human being's experience in this world. In the way I perceive words and their meanings, in the way I feel my emotions, in the way I share my opinions, and in the way I choose to present all of those to the world. AI oversimplifies all of that. Or maybe it overcomplicates everything too much. It strives to take our ideas and creations and make them as perfect as they can be. It doesn't have any life experiences aside from numerous math equations deep within its code. And the only thing it truly cares about is completing a task with excellence. I will not say, however, that AI can't help us in any way, because that would be running away from reality. AI will be staying with us one way or another, and there is no way of denying that. It does have its positive implications in our lives, such as making the workflow faster and giving us tools to make our jobs easier. And those implications are part of what makes AI linger around the internet and people's lives. But among those implications, there is one less obvious reason for its appeal to us. One that is oftentimes overlooked for how small it might seem to be, and most of the times, it goes unnoticed. And that reason is fear. Fear of what, you may ask? The fear of imperfection. As human beings, we are creators and we are artists. As creators, we strive to take an idea from our minds and materialize it as a creation. And as artists, we seek perfection. Deep down, many of us fear even the thought of creating something that's not perfect. We want to make our creations devoid of mistakes. But by doing that, we are slowly losing the core aspect of what makes them human in the first place. Imperfections. That is what humans are forever going to be. Imperfect creatures. And that is not a bad thing. Our creations should reflect that, and not the other way around. AI is far from making any of our creations perfect, however, and that's not the main problem. The main problem is that we are letting it take the lead. But when you let a machine that has optimization and rewards as their entire reason to exist take the lead, we allow the platform in which it exists reflect its core motives. We lose what made that platform human in the first place. We consume content all the time in these platforms. We have reached a point where, for many, simply standing around and observing life isn't possible any longer. Feeling boredom became such a massive burden that we are incapable of finding fulfillment in our surroundings. We need distractions, and we have it all in our pockets. In the same device, we manage our bills, our appointments, our responsibilities, our social life, and much more. The virtual world became the real world. So what happens now? Now that this world is being replaced by just a mirage of doppelgangers attempting their best at imitating human beings. Fake opinions, fake ideas, fake visuals, fake everything. But there is something beautiful about making mistakes. A hidden beauty in the small, happy little accidents. When I watch videos on YouTube and I see these imperfections, in the script writing or maybe in the visuals or audio, I smile because I know that a machine wouldn't understand the importance of such errors. Seeing these flaws makes me relate to them and to the person who committed them. After all, I am a human being too, and I am imperfect. That is important. No amount of life experience will ever change that reality for any of us. Every artist pursues perfection, but none of them can ever achieve it. And ironically, in this pursuit of perfection, they come up with the most unique, flawed creations to exist in this world and be shared. Masterpieces that could be remembered for years to come. Trial and error. True and false. That's what it is to be a human being. An everlasting cycle of making mistakes, learning from them, and creating something beautiful in the process. From all of this, it would be very easy to see AI as the villain, to see it as this evil entity that must be eradicated for its sins, to make it responsible for the way YouTube and all of the internet feels right now. But the truth is that AI is not the cause, but only the symptom of a society that became afraid of making mistakes, a society that is living in fear of judgment, imperfection, and bad optimization. AI is only showing a side of humanity that was always present, and we can use this as a learning experience. Why not trust our own words? Why not trust our own thoughts? Why not let ourselves be the judges of what is and is not good for us? Should we really let a machine dictate what is best? Or should we just allow the mistakes to guide us towards our best selves? For that reason, I decided to create a channel where I do not allow myself to use these AI tools in ways that change the content. We need that on this platform in these dire moments. Unfortunately, my viewers would only have my word to take, as it doesn't seem to be possible to prove what is machine-made or human-made anymore. Even if the content contains all of the red flags that AI uses, there's still no way to prove it. But I still choose to try and be myself. And I invite you to do the same. Cherish your mistakes and how they make you learn. Give yourself value for who you are as a person and all of the experiences you've ever had. You are capable of more than AI is, not for the perfection it strives to achieve, but for its inability to understand that your mistakes are what makes you unique to the world. I worry for the day when the recognizable patterns become unrecognizable. When the three-word formation, or the classic "it's not just about this, it's about that," becomes less apparent. Or in the worst of cases, completely invisible. What will we do then? Will we just live in a completely fake world, where people no longer can trust each other because anything online could be no more than machines designed to create the most convincing content after being fed the ideal prompt? I hate that version of the world, and I stand against it. And my hope is that the ones living in this platform also do. I am Tropical Rat, by the way, and I want to thank you for watching the video. As I just said, this channel is about human-made content, and I do not use AI for the creation of my videos. Yes, everything that you just heard, down to every single word, came from my mind. A human mind. So if you appreciate what I am doing here, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. If you believe that human-made content should be dominant on this platform, then let me know in the comments by writing, "I want human-made content." And also, let me know why you believe in that. I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao, ciao.